Imagine a time when the Sahara was not a desert, but a lush, vibrant paradise, a place where rivers flowed freely, animals roamed in abundance, and the air was thick with the scent of vegetation. Yes, you heard that right. The Sahara, today a symbol of scorching heat, endless sand, was once teeming with life. Between 14,500 and 5,000 years ago, during what scientists call the African humid period, this vast region was a completely different world. Picture this: vast grasslands stretching beyond the horizon, dotted with crystal clear lakes and winding rivers. The land was so green, it could easily be mistaken for something out of a dream. Now imagine elephants, giraffes, even crocodiles, creatures we associate with jungles and savannas, wandering through the Sahara's fertile plains. And it wasn't just wildlife. Human life thrived here too. Early humans didn't just survive in this environment, they flourished. Ancient tribes left behind stunning rock art, depicting everything from majestic cattle to dancing figures, tools, evidence of early agriculture, and signs of settled communities tell us that these people lived rich, complex lives. This forgotten era was powered by one force: the rains. The mighty monsoons, driven by the Earth's tilt and orbit, swept across the land, bringing life-giving water to every corner of the Sahara. It was a world in constant motion, full of growth, discovery, and possibility. But as we all know, nothing lasts forever. The rains that made the Sahara green began to fade away. What happened next? The landscape began to change, slowly turning from paradise to desert. Stay with us as we uncover the dramatic shifts that turned one of Earth's most thriving ecosystems into the world's largest desert. Trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next. Imagine the Sahara, once a lush and vibrant land, slowly transforming into the desert we know today. But this wasn't due to a sudden catastrophe or human impact. It was driven by something far more powerful and beyond our control. Around 5,000 years ago, the Earth began to shift in subtle ways, and the changes were dramatic. This transformation is explained by something called the Milankovitch cycles. These cycles describe how small changes in Earth's orbit, tilt, and axial wobble affect how sunlight is distributed across the planet. When Earth's tilt shifted, the monsoon rains that had once bathed the Sahara started to weaken. With less rainfall, the vibrant rivers, lakes, and grasslands began to dry up. The fertile landscape that had supported life slowly turned arid as the Sahara lost its green cover over thousands of years. This wasn't a sudden disaster. It was a gradual, natural process, a cosmic shift that pushed the region from life-sustaining rains to a cycle of desertification. And here's the key: this wasn't caused by humans. It was a natural, cyclical event, part of Earth's long-term climate patterns. The slow retreat of the monsoons was simply the result of Earth's shifting position in space. The Sahara didn't become a desert overnight. It was a gradual, unstoppable process. a constant change shaped by the universe itself. The question that has puzzled scientists for years: was the Sahara's transformation from a lush paradise to a barren desert a sudden event? Or was it a slow, steady process that unfolded over millennia? Some evidence points to a rapid desertification happening in just a few centuries. Imagine that, a dramatic change where once thriving rivers and lakes dried up almost overnight, and the green savanna turned to dust in the blink of an eye. But then there's the other theory, the one that suggests this was a long, slow transition unfolding over thousands of years. The Sahara didn't just wake up one day as a desert. Instead, it gradually shifted as the monsoon slowly faded and the land dried out, inch by inch, season by season. So which is it? Was the Sahara swallowed up by the desert in a flash, or did it erode slowly over time? The truth might be a little of both. What we do know is that this dramatic change had a huge impact on the people who lived there. As the climate shifted, entire communities were forced to adapt or leave. The once thriving human settlements along the shores of lakes and rivers began to vanish. People migrated to the Nile Valley, where the flow of the mighty river continued to support life, and beyond Egypt, to other regions, some even pushing further into the heart of Africa. So whether it was sudden or gradual, one thing is certain: the desertification of the Sahara altered the course of history for both the land and its people. Those who survived the climate change began to build new societies, pushing forward into lands that could sustain them. The changing landscape of the Sahara didn't just affect the land, it fundamentally changed the course of human history. As the lush green Sahara began to dry up, entire communities had to adapt, or they faced collapse. For those who couldn't keep up with the shifting climate, survival became impossible. Where once there were thriving settlements along rivers and lakes, only desolation remained. The desert slowly overtook the fertile lands, forcing people to abandon their homes, their crops, and their way of life. But for others, this catastrophic change sparked something incredible: migration and innovation. As the Sahara dried, people began to move. Many sought refuge in the Nile Valley, where the river's life-sustaining waters continued to flow. Unaffected by the droughts sweeping across the continent, it was here, along the banks of the Nile, that the great Egyptian civilization would rise, a beacon of culture, knowledge, and power. The migration wasn't just about finding food and water. It was about survival and opportunity. The movement of people from the Sahara into the Nile Valley set the stage for the formation of one of the world's most iconic civilizations. Egypt, with its advanced technology, architecture, and social structures, flourished in part because of this influx of new ideas and people. But this wasn't just an Egyptian story. The desertification of the Sahara had ripple effects across Africa. New trade routes began to form. The once isolated Nile Valley now became the center of a network that connected distant lands. Goods, ideas, and cultures flowed like the river itself, shaping societies across the continent. The Sahara's transformation wasn't just the end of one way of life. It was the beginning of another, a shift in climate and geography that sparked the rise of empires, the birth of trade, and the foundation of the world as we know it today. What if the Sahara had a secret, one hidden beneath the sand, for thousands of years? What if the answers to some of history's greatest mysteries were waiting to be uncovered? Well, thanks to cutting-edge technology, we're finally pulling back the veil on Africa's ancient past. In recent decades, satellite imagery has become one of the most powerful tools in uncovering the Sahara's lost world. Satellites have revealed incredible patterns across the desert. Long-forgotten riverbeds, dried-up lakes, and the remnants of lush landscapes that once flourished. These discoveries are changing the way we see the Sahara, showing us that what we now call a barren desert was once teeming with life. Take a moment to picture this. Hidden beneath the desert surface, ancient river channels have been discovered, stretching for miles. Satellite images reveal intricate pathways of water that once flowed through this now dry land, offering proof that the Sahara was once a fertile paradise, something unimaginable when you look at it today. But the story doesn't end with satellites. Sediment cores pulled from lakes like Lake Chad hold even more secrets. These deep samples contain layers of history, telling the tale of changing rainfall, shifting climate, and the slow fading of a once thriving ecosystem. By analyzing the sediment, scientists have confirmed that the Sahara's transformation from a lush land to a desert wasn't a sudden event. It was a slow, gradual process that took thousands of years. And then there's the work being done in archaeology. Modern digs in the Sahara are uncovering astonishing evidence of ancient human life. Tools, pottery, and rock art that depict wild animals, like giraffes and crocodiles, that once roamed freely in this now desolate region. These finds are reshaping our understanding of the people who lived here long before the desert took over. With each new discovery, we're piecing together a clearer picture of Africa's past, revealing a world that was rich with life, culture, and history, but buried under millennia of shifting sands. As we continue this journey through time, we'll explore how these modern discoveries not only transform our knowledge of the Sahara, but also hold vital lessons for understanding our planet's future. Stick with us. The revelations are just getting started. So, what does the ancient story of the Sahara's transformation teach us? How can the history of this vast desert, once a lush paradise, now a barren wasteland, offer lessons for our modern world? The truth is, it speaks volumes about the challenges we face today with climate change. First, the Sahara's transformation gives us a sobering reminder. Climate change isn't a new problem. The desertification of the Sahara happened long before industrialization, driven by natural forces like shifts in Earth's orbit and tilt. This wasn't human-caused, but the results were just as devastating. And this should make us think, if natural forces can drastically change climates over thousands of years, what happens when humans start altering the environment at an unprecedented pace? The Sahara story forces us to confront the difference between natural and human-driven climate shifts. The desertification we're facing today is largely driven by human activity, deforestation, carbon emissions, and unsustainable agriculture. While nature can take thousands of years to change the climate, our impact is speeding up the process, leading to unpredictable, sometimes irreversible consequences. This history also underscores the importance of environmental adaptation and resilience. The ancient people of the Sahara were forced to adapt, migrating to new areas, finding ways to survive. In today's world, as we face environmental crises, our ability to adapt is more critical than ever. Whether it's shifting to renewable energy, rethinking how we manage water, or changing how we farm, adaptation is key to surviving and thriving in a changing world. And here's a thought-provoking question. Could the Sahara ever be green again? While it may seem impossible, innovative ideas like the African Green Wall, a massive project aimed at planting trees to restore the land, show that restoration is possible. Alongside this, futuristic geoengineering ideas like seeding clouds to bring rain or even large-scale irrigation systems could one day help reverse desertification. Could we one day turn back the clock on the Sahara? Only time and the power of human innovation will tell. The Sahara's transformation teaches us that the environment is not static. It evolves, and sometimes it pushes us to evolve with it. We've learned the hard way that the forces of nature are immense, but we also have the power to reshape the future. What we do next will determine how we face the challenges ahead. So as we look at the Sahara, remember, it's not just a story about the past. It's a story about us, about our ability to adapt, innovate, and create a more sustainable future for our planet. Stay with us as we dive deeper into the solutions on the horizon. As we reach the end of this incredible journey through time, let's take a moment to recap the key insights we've uncovered. The Sahara wasn't always a barren desert we see today. It was once a lush, green landscape, teeming with rivers, lakes, and wildlife. Climate cycles, like the gradual shifts in Earth's orbit and tilt, played a massive role in this transformation. But human activity, though not the cause, is accelerating similar changes today. What we've learned is powerful. The Sahara's history isn't just about ancient life and changing landscapes. It's a cautionary tale about the impacts of environmental change. It shows us how slowly shifting climates can reshape entire regions, and it highlights the importance of understanding our past in order to navigate our future. The lessons are clear. Adaptation, resilience, and learning from history are key to facing the environmental challenges of our own time. The Sahara may have become a desert, but could we reverse similar trends? Could we reshape our future, just as we've seen innovations like the African Green Wall taking root? Only time will tell. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into one of Africa's most intriguing transformations, don't forget to subscribe and share this journey with others. Your support helps us continue to bring you these fascinating stories, educate, and inspire change. Together, we can keep exploring the untold histories that shape our world. Hit that like button, share this episode, and make sure you subscribe so we can keep delivering more amazing content like this. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more exciting explorations into the mysteries of the past.